bringing to life one of the most famous artists the world has ever known. Now, you don't have to be a fan of art to know the name Vincent Van Gogh. You don't have to be a lover of art to experience a brand new immersive exhibit called Beyond Van Gogh here at the Hamilton Convention Center by Carmen's. Happy to be joined by Fanny Curta, who is an art historian, but also works with this exhibit, a consultant, I guess we shall say. This is kind of stepping into the world of Van Gogh. This has been all over North America, all over the world. You've traveled with it. What have the experiences been like for you to see?
So this show is really about bringing joy to people. And like you say, we're in this room just to hint at people that this is a very different vibe from a museum setting. It's really for everybody. And to be able to travel with the show in a context of the pandemic and to see people experiment and experience this joy and just the beauty of Vincent's work has been truly unique.
When I say immersive, is that the proper way to describe it?
It's the only way to describe it, I would say, because this opportunity is really to set foot into Vincent's world. So either you know a lot about him, and this is just like the fantasy of going beyond the frame and inside the painting itself, or you don't know much about Vincent, you're discovering his work in a new way, and it's the chance to just follow the brushstrokes, follow the light, just be really truly inside his vision of the world.
How did this come to be?
We created the show in October 2020 with the idea of finding a cultural output in the pandemic setting and providing an opportunity for people to experience art in a different way that would allow them to be self-distanced, to have room, and just have a moment of joy and be able to forget the hardship
This
in life.
is stemming from the pandemic, this show specifically. So how many pieces of Van Gogh are there in the show?
There are about 300. And the whole thing was curated to go sort of from the beginning of Vincent's work, where it was much darker, moodier, and then as he gets to Paris, discovers the work of the Impressionists, it gets much brighter, and you get to the south of France, where you have this explosion of color that he's so widely known for.
What are we looking at behind us here?
In the waterfall room, you have really what's going to be the core of this experience, which is a blend of cutting-edge projection technology, very modern tools, with the essence of Vincent's work. These brushstroke, this movement, this play on complementary colors, this light, it's really sort of to prepare you for the trippy experience of what's coming ahead of the immersive room.
I can give you a little teaser that yes, I have been in the other room, and yes, I can confirm it is quite something. And you get to see it with us this morning, but you really can't truly experience it unless you're here. And it opens today. Very exciting. Here at the Hamilton Convention Center by Carmen's. It's here for the next month. You do have to go online and book your spot. Easy to do. VanGoghHamilton.com. We'll continue to explore on Morning Live. You might know the name Van Gogh, Vincent Van Gogh, but do you know anything about the world famous artist? We are learning more as Beyond Van Gogh opens today here at the Hamilton Convention Center by Carmen's. Happy to be joined once again by Fanny Curta, who is an art historian consultant with the show. You've been all over North America with this show, teaching people about art, but teaching people about Van Gogh. Who was Vincent Van Gogh?
Because the whole idea, like you were saying, people tend to know only small things about Vincent. They think to Starry Night and then the ear cutting incident. But there's so much more to him than that. And this room is a perfect example of that. You have quotes, you have this amazing correspondence between Theo and Vincent, the two brothers.
So Theo is his brother.
And Theo was everything to Vincent, his economical support, emotional support. And so it's a unique case in art history to have that much information and insight on an artist in his own words. And it just shows the depth of Vincent's mind. He was far more than just a mad genius struggling. There was much more to him than that. He's known, unfortunately, for the darkness in his life, but when you look at his work, that's not what you see. You see only the light, the brightness, vivid colors and movement. And so that was the goal for this show, to really showcase this.
That struggling artist with inside of him, is that what we're getting in his works of art?
No, he was really showing us his craving for beauty and his need for purpose. there's this drive in his work to really show the beauty of the world, to show the healing quality of natures. For sure, he did struggle, and you can't take that away from his life, but to surmise his work to the darkness in his life, when you see so much light and you see how much he wanted to show this color and this powerful color, then it's just about putting priorities in order, I would say.
People coming to the show, how do they, because we're still making our way into the big room, which is really the star of the show.
Mm-hmm.
How much time are people spending in here?
It depends. Some people are reading some of the panels, most of them actually are reading everything, because the thing that these rooms provide is really insight into Vincent's life and how can a 21st century audience connect with a 19th century
Is
artist.
it important to know that if you don't know anything before you head into and really immerse yourself in his art?
There's really no way of going about this. People can go at their own rhythm. I think it helps, and it provides insight and a different perspective in his work, but you can go at it your own way and at your own pace.
As you said, that's what's great about art. That's what's great about taking in the show, because it opens up to everybody, right?
Yeah,
to really take it in.
A lot of people are intimidated by museums.
For sure.
But this hopefully connects them with Vincent in a way that maybe next time they're in a town where a museum has Van Goghs on its wall, maybe they'll be curious about experiencing the magic of the original.
I'm ready. Can we do it? Can we go into the room? Okay.
Sure.
Okay, before we get there, Luke, not yet. Because Beyond Van Gogh starts today, runs for the next month here at the Hamilton Convention Center by Carmen's. You need to book a spot though. So vangoghhamilton.com is where you book your spot, where you can come and explore. Let's do it. Wow. Good morning, everybody. Very, very excited to be at a brand new immersive exhibit in the city of Hamilton at the Hamilton Convention Center by Carmen's. It's Beyond Van Gogh, and we've made it into the big room. Back with Fanny Kurta, who's the art historian consultant on this amazing, amazing show. What's been the reaction? Because you have this doorway into this room, seeing people's faces for the first time. What's it like?
It's magical. Because again, after being cooped up inside, confinement, the struggles of the pandemic and everything, to have a space where people just have pure positive colors and just wonderful things around them, it's been truly unique. And to have kids running around following the brush strokes, there's nothing quite like it.
So it's always moving, it's immersive, right? How are we supposed to take it in?
The best way of going about it is the way you feel the most comfortable with. But walking in the space, you do feel the world moving around you. You feel the brush strokes. You see just how intense all of this is. You can see on the floor right now, all of it moving, the intensity of the colors that he put side by side without blending them. It's just a unique way of entering his work and his paintings.
Okay, so there's 300 pieces that are in the exhibit. How did you choose what pieces to use?
So the whole idea was to create a journey for the audience to embark on and to discover his work differently. And so we went from sort of the beginning of his life when everything is darker, and then following the natural evolution of him going to Paris, discovering the Impressionists, going to Arles and Saint-Auvert-sur-Oise, and just having this explosion of color, and just bringing the audience on this journey towards just pure colors and joy.
The floor's moving, so it feels you're moving with it too, right?
Yeah, it takes up the whole body.
Why is his pieces of work or pieces of art, why did it become so popular? Why did he become so popular even after his death?
I think there's something to be said about how timeless the essence of his work is. To have somebody who is so widely known for struggling in his life and yet transcend all of this hardship into works of beauty and works of art, there's something so inspiring still for us today. For example, going through a pandemic that Vincent knew nothing about, and yet cooped up inside, he was able to create Starry Night while in an asylum cell. He was able in his own room to find beauty in a bag of onion on the kitchen table, and to find a pair of boots by the door worthy of a work of art. And that still speaks to us today. There's this need to showcase the beauty of the world, and that's what his work is all about.
Amazing. We've just gone dark, so I guess that's the end of this segment. But that's the thing, it's on a loop, and it's always continuing to roll throughout his life that you can experience. It's on now for the next month here at the Hamilton Convention Center by Carmen's. Head to vangohamilton.com to get your tickets. We have one more. I want to see what else they have in store for us at Beyond Van Gogh on Morning Live.
Starry, starry night.
Wow, what a wonderful morning we've been having. Welcome back to Beyond Van Gogh that opens today here at the Hamilton Convention Center by Carmen's. I'm so lucky, Luke and I are so lucky to have Fanny with us. Fanny's an art historian and consultant for the show, because even off camera, she's just taking us through the world of Van Gogh and we're learning so much. But for you as an art historian, Fanny, this immersive experience, where do you sit on that? Because, I don't know, art sometimes can be a bit snooty and changing the ways of things.
Yeah, and I think it's healthy to question what the impact of experiences like this will be on the art world. I think it's healthy to question what Instagram does and social media does to the art world. But considering that all of these are here, I think we might as well follow and see where it leads us. I see it as a great opportunity to bring in many types of audiences inside another way of experiencing art. So for a lot of people, it might be, like you said, intimidating, or it might be hard to find an access point, or how can they relate to a 19th century artist? And an experience like that, it allows you to see it in a whole different way.
Just dipping your toe into it.
Exactly.
Right.
And hopefully they'll have this connection that will bring them to maybe look into it a little bit more.
What's the world we're getting into right now with Van Gogh?
So Van Gogh painted a lot of flowers. He painted flowers like he painted people, because they were quiet subjects and they would stay in place, they were free, and so he painted a lot of them. And so we're just being surrounded by this part of his world, just the flowers flowing from his canvases and into the space.
It's pretty special that this is a Canadian company
Yes.
that has put this together too.
Yeah, and Paquin Entertainment Group is based in Manitoba, and they're really a leader in these type of experiences. And Normal Studio, which is based in Montreal, created the whole thing. And it's just a wonderful, wonderful project that's going really everywhere around the world, with I think 2.5 million tickets sold.
Amazing. But look, it's coming out at you, right? And on the floor. Oh, now you at home watching today, you might be in awe, and it is something to see it, but to see it in person is totally different once you walk into this room.
Exactly, it's very hard to describe, because, and especially with a scene like that, you see how just it takes you in. The walls are literally coming and moving around you. So it's really meant to get you inside of the painting, really go beyond the frame, beyond the legend, and inside the work itself.
Is there, I don't know, is there a frame of mind you should be in? Any suggestions for anybody how to experience it the best way?
Just come with an open mind and just enjoy it any way you want. Art is about connecting people and things. And so whichever way you feel and get out of Vincent's work will be the best way.
Congrats. Very cool.
Thank you.
And I love, Fanny's so passionate about this and about Van Gogh. It's really cool. So very nice chatting with you. Thanks
Thank
for
you.
thanks
I
for having it in
appreciate
town.
it.
It's in town for the next month, but you have to go to vangohamilton.com to book your tickets. It's at the Hamilton Convention Center by Carmen's